Welcome to the Deep Dive. Today we're tackling something really significant, a challenge hitting agriculture hard globally and, well, definitely here in South Africa. Foot and mouth disease, FMD.
Yeah.
And it's more than just sick animals, isn't it? It has these massive knock-on effects way beyond the farm itself.
Absolutely. It's crucial to get that at FMDs, it's a controlled, notifiable disease. That tells you straight away how serious the authorities take it.
Right.
And the cost. I mean, we're talking billions of rands just in South Africa.
Yeah.
It's not only the loss of animals or like milk production, but it slams the door shut on export markets.
Yeah.
A huge economic hit.
So given just how big this challenge is, what we want to do today is, well, unpack the ways we've traditionally tried to control FMD. Look at maybe where those methods fall short, some new concerns cropping up, and then pivot to the really interesting part, the innovative, safer solutions that are kind of reshaping biosecurity. We've looked at sources covering, disease control policies, biosecurity practices, and some of the newer disinfection tech that's coming through. And stick with us because there are some pretty surprising facts coming up about just how tough this virus is.
Oh, yeah.
Plus, a bit of a reveal about common disinfectants that might make you think twice. That's where it gets really interesting.
Definitely.
Okay, so let's dive in. FMD control, it's a persistent challenge. When there's an outbreak, what's the sort of standard procedure, the traditional playbook?
With a traditional approach, it's quite comprehensive. First thing, you halt all movement. Animals, products, everything. Stop it spreading.
Makes sense.
Then the hard part, culling infected animals and
Yeah.
also those they've been in contact with. And proper carcass disposal, that's critical too.
Right.
Plus, you've got intense disinfection. Vehicles, people moving in and out of the affected zone. Sometimes ring vaccination, creating a buffer.
Right.
And layered on top of that, you need strict import controls, proper waste handling. It's a whole system designed to contain it.
It sounds incredibly thorough, really robust on paper. So why then are we hearing this quite sobering statement that South Africa might never be FMD free again? What's shifted?
That's the tough reality we're facing now. It's a huge paradigm shift. Despite, the best efforts, policies, veterinary governance, the situation on the ground means eradication. Becoming completely free again, it's just not looking likely.
Wow.
So focus has to change. From eradication, which we might not achieve, to control. Constant, vigilant control.
Okay, so control, not eradication. That puts a massive responsibility back onto the individual farmer, doesn't it?
It really does. On-farm biosecurity, protecting your own herd,
Yeah.
becomes absolutely paramount. It's the front line now.
So what does that actually look like? What are the core things every farmer needs to be doing for that on-farm biosecurity?
The specifics can vary a bit, depending on if you're talking dairy or beef or sheep. Yeah. But the core principles, they're always the same. Segregation, keeping animals appropriately separated, cleaning, thorough, regular cleaning protocols, and crucially, disinfection, effective disinfection.
And you touched on the virus's toughness earlier. That makes disinfection even more critical, right?
Yeah, exactly. And this is where it gets pretty eye-opening. You might think a virus needs a host, right? Dies quickly outside.
Yeah, you'd assume so.
But FMD studies show it can survive in water, in soil, on surfaces for up to a month, depending on the weather, temperature, humidity.
A month, seriously.
A month. And maybe even more concerning, it can become airborne. It can actually travel on the wind.
Oh, wow.
Which means a local problem can become a regional one frighteningly fast. So, yeah, disinfection isn't just about surfaces. It's about water, potentially even air treatment in some settings.
That really drives home the scale of the challenge. Okay, let's talk about disinfection then. What has been the go-to tool, the standard disinfectant we've relied on?
Traditionally, the most common one you'll see is hypochlorite. It's a chlorine-based disinfectant. Think household bleach, that kind of active ingredient. Comes in solid forms, liquid forms. It's been widely used for a long time.
Right. Seems pretty standard. But are we now seeing maybe some downsides? Some unintended consequences?
Well, yes, and this is significant. The World Health Organization, the WHO, they've done rigorous testing.
Yeah, okay.
And their findings are quite alarming, actually. They found that many of these traditional surface disinfectants contain toxins, stuff classified as health hazards, and also pollutants impacting the environment.
Health hazards from disinfectants. That's concerning. What did the WHO specifically warn about?
They put out a report back in May 2020, and it was quite direct. They said, and I'm paraphrasing slightly here, but essentially spraying or fogging certain chemicals like formaldehyde, chlorine-based agents, or quats, those are quaternary ammonium compounds, is not recommended.
Not recommended. Why?
Due to adverse health effects on workers in places where these methods were used. So think about farm workers, processing plant workers. There are real human health risks involved.
So we have this tension then. We need something strong enough to kill this incredibly tough virus.
Exactly.
But the traditional strong stuff might actually be harming people or the environment.
That's the dilemma. And it's pushing the whole agricultural sector towards, well, finding better solutions, more sustainable ones.
Okay, so how is this sector responding? What's the direction of travel now?
There's a big global push in agriculture towards sustainability, towards using products that are, environmentally sound.
Makes sense.
And manufacturers, partly spurred by this WHO focus on the risks of older disinfectants, they're responding. They're developing and producing biodegradable options.
Like what kind of options?
Specifically, we're seeing a really strong move towards disinfectants based on hydrogen peroxide, H2O2.
Hydrogen peroxide, like the stuff you get in a brown bottle at the pharmacy. Is it the same kind of thing?
It's based on the same chemical compound, yes, H2O2.
Yeah.
But these are specifically formulated, stabilized solutions for disinfection. The big advantage is that H2O2 naturally breaks down into just water and oxygen.
Ah, okay. So much cleaner from an environmental standpoint.
Exactly. They're classified as eco-friendly and, crucially, safer for people and animals when used correctly compared to those chlorine or formaldehyde-based ones.
So this sounds like a promising direction. Can we look at a specific example? You mentioned Peroxsil earlier. What is that?
Right, Peroxsil. It's distributed by Ladismith Powder, and it is one of these modern hydrogen peroxide-based disinfectants. It's designed to be powerful, broad-spectrum, stable, and safe.
Broad spectrum, meaning it tackles lots of different things.
Precisely. It acts as a fungicide, so it kills fungi, an antibiotic, tackling bacteria, a viricide, absolutely critical for FMD, it kills viruses, and even a pneumaticide, which deals with certain types of parasitic worms. So, very versatile.
That's quite a list. How does it actually work, and how can it be so powerful yet safer than the old stuff?
It works through oxidation. Basically, it chemically attacks and breaks down the cells and the microorganisms, the viruses, bacteria, fungi, renders them harmless.
Okay.
And the safety profile comes from what it doesn't contain: no chlorine, no alcohol. And importantly, it doesn't tend to corrode materials commonly found on farms, which can be an issue with other disinfectants.
Right.
And then, as we said, after it does its job, it just degrades into water and oxygen. Harmless byproducts.
Yeah.
It really is considered one of the safest ways to disinfect effectively.
That sounds almost too good to be true, powerful, and safe, and eco-friendly. But for something as serious as FMD, we need proof, right? Is there scientific evidence that actually works against the FMD virus?
Absolutely. Critical point. And yes, there is. This isn't just marketing hype. The Agricultural Research Council, the ARC here in South Africa, they conducted rigorous tests.
When was this?
Just recently, in April of this year. So very current data.
And what did they find?
Their conclusion was clear. Peroxsil is a powerful, efficient, broad-spectrum disinfectant. And crucially, they confirmed it is capable of killing the FMD virus, even at doses considered safe for humans and animals.
Okay, that's the concrete validation needed. Powerful, effective against FMD, and safe.
That's the key takeaway from the science.
So let's bring this back to the farmer. With this new reality of FMD control and these new tools emerging, what's the farmer's responsibility now? Is it just about picking the right product?
Well, there's a legal aspect first. Current legislation actually requires livestock farmers to use only products that are verified, products proven effective against viruses, bacteria, fungi.
So they have to use something proven.
Yes. But beyond that, there's an ethical choice, isn't there? It's really up to the farmer to choose products classified as safe and eco-friendly. It aligns with good practice, with what we call ESG principles, environment, social, governance, running a responsible business.
Right. The broader impact.
Exactly. And then, of course, there's the practical responsibility. Using the product correctly, following the label instructions to the letter. Regulatory bodies make those directions and safety precautions mandatory for a reason.
So choose wisely, use correctly.
Absolutely. And the benefits of doing that, using these newer, safer, verified products, they're really numerous. Good for the animals, good for the staff, good for the environment, and ultimately good for the business by maintaining market access.
Okay, so we've covered a lot of ground. We started with this huge, persistent challenge of FMD, the billions it costs, looked at the traditional methods and their limits, then uncovered these quite serious concerns about the health and environmental side of older disinfectants.
Yeah, the WHO findings were quite stark.
And then we've seen this shift, this emergence of highly effective but also eco-friendly and safer alternatives, like these hydrogen peroxide-based solutions, Peroxsil being a prime example.
Exactly. The whole focus, it feels like, has shifted. It's much more about proactive biosecurity right there on the farm. And realizing that the products you choose have to tick multiple boxes now. They must be verified, effective, yes, but also safe for workers, safe for the environment, to really ensure agriculture is sustainable long-term.
So thinking about this evolution, this need to balance controlling dangerous pathogens with protecting human health and the environment and agriculture, it makes you wonder, doesn't it? What implications does this kind of dual focus have for other sectors? Maybe healthcare or food processing or public spaces. Are they facing similar challenges? And how might this need to balance efficacy with safety shape our whole approach to sustainability right across the global food chain?